Do you ever look around and think, wow, the world is a crazy place, and it just seems to get crazier and crazier? Ease your mind and take a break. This is Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. We're a hub for inspirational Christian sermons, practical keys for Christian living, and Christian discussions and interviews. You'll be inspired to live the life that you were created for. Your host is a top-ranking podcaster, best-selling author, world record holder, aerospace engineer, life coach, evangelist, and founder of John Giftah International. Welcome to Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah.
So thank you so much for joining in. So now you may be in a place where you are saying, John, I know that my direction is to be in that way. I know that I'm supposed to go there. I know that that is where I'm supposed to go. I know that I'm supposed to climb up the ladder, but something doesn't make sense. Why am I going down? Why am I not able to see the progress? What is happening? What is going on? Well, I'm going to tell you something. The Bible talks about this very important thing, and I want to tell you that the process is something that many people are neglecting. And one of the important things about process is that part of the process is not going to be a straight line to the top. There will be moments when you're actually going down. There will be moments when you're going in the opposite direction. There will be moments when it's not going to make sense. When you're going towards Mount Everest, our ultimate goal is to go to the top, right? We want to climb to the top. But you have to remember, you're not just going to go straight up to the top of Mount Everest. It doesn't happen that way, right? It can't be possible for a variety of reasons. And I'm going to share two reasons with you. First reason why you can't just go straight to the top is because your body cannot handle such a drastic change. You cannot handle the weight of being at the top right away. This, especially if you say the top of Mount Everest, the oxygen level is only 1/3 of what it is here. The pressure is also in a very terrible state. So eyesight is going to be affected. You won't be in the position to think properly or make good decisions. So there's so many things involved. It's not just going to the top. There's so many things involved going to the top. So you know how the process is like? When you take, for example, moving towards the Everest base camp, I'm going to take that as reference to help you understand. When you are moving towards the Mount Everest base camp, okay, so you go to this place called Lukla in Nepal, okay, by flight. And from Lukla, you go on a 10-day journey towards the base camp. Okay, so there are different places throughout your journey, like Bakteng, there's Namche, there's Dingboshe, Lobushe, Korekshep, and finally you reach the Everest base camp. That's the way the route is. So here's the thing, even going towards the base camp, you don't go straight towards it. There are certain places, like for example, when you go to Namche or when you go to Dingboshe, what happens is the next day is called acclimatization day. Okay, this is what it is. The next day is called acclimatization day. So what happens is when you go to a place called Namche, the next day you climb another mountain. Okay, you go to a higher altitude, and during the night you come back down and stay here. Are you getting what I'm saying? You're supposed to keep climbing high. That's our ultimate destiny or goal. But what happens here is you go to an altitude during the day and then you come back and rest here. In that process, your body gets adapted to this level. Then next day you go to Dingboshe, to an even higher altitude. So once you go to an even higher altitude, the next day you repeat the same thing. During the day, on the acclimatization day, you go to an even higher mountain and then you come back and rest here. So in that process, your body gets adapted to this high altitude as well. So you can next go to an even higher level. That is how the process is. If I'm taking you from the bottom to the top in a direct way, you won't be able to handle it. Your body cannot handle that. And that is why you need the process. And the process sometimes involves you actually going down sometimes. It looks like a contradiction. You may be saying, I need to go to the top, but why am I going down? Because that is part of your process. You can't go straight up to the top. If you go straight to the top of Mount Everest in an helicopter or something, you'll say, wow, I reached the top. And the next minute you'll reach the top. That is heaven, because your body cannot handle the weight of it. That's why you need process. That's why you need to be in a place where you say, you know what, God is a God of process. The Bible says in Ephesians 2:10 that we are God's workmanship, which means work in progress. We're not going to become a finished product in one day. The Bible talks about going from one degree of glory to another degree of glory in the book of Corinthians. The Bible talks about how the path of the righteous gets brighter and brighter. It doesn't say that from the day you get saved, your path is going to become the brightest till the day you die. It doesn't work that way. It's going to get from brighter to brighter, brighter to brighter. You're going to move from one degree of glory to another degree of glory. You are in a place of workmanship. I'm here to announce to you, get to understanding the aspect of process. And when you talk about process, you realize that there may be moments when you have to go in the opposite direction of where your ultimate destiny is, but that's the way the route is made. So get okay with the process. Are you okay with the process? And don't think there's something wrong with you because you're going down. Because in life, we have this idea that success is all about today you're making $100, tomorrow make $1,000, the next day you make $1 million. That's the way success is defined in the world perspective. Today you're pastoring a church of 20,000, tomorrow you need to pastor a church of 50,000. That's the way success is defined. Today you are selling this many books, tomorrow you need to sell that many books, more than previous. That's the way success is defined. But what I want you to know is sometimes it involves going down on numbers so that you can go to an even higher number. I still remember when I was in, I think 2017 if I'm not wrong, I was in a place where I thought, wow, this is so cool, because every month I was getting at least 4 different invitations to preach in different places. But when I stepped into 2018, in the entire year, I preached in only 4 places. Sometimes it looks like, am I done something wrong? What's going on? Why am I not getting invitations? But that's when I realized this is part of the process. Sometimes you feel like you're going back when you're supposed to be going forward, but that's actually just like a catapult to catapult you to the next level of your destiny. The second thing I want to share is how when you're moving, especially from Namche to Tengboche, the route has been made in such a way that you already gained this much altitude. But at one place, you will lose much of your altitude in coming down just to cross another bridge so that you can go to the next higher mountain. The road has been made in that way. There's no other option. So you can stay here and say, I don't want to go down. I want to stay here. I can't lose all the altitude I gain. I can't do that. If you say that, you're going to remain where you are. But if you need to go to the next higher mountain, you should be willing to go down to cross that bridge, to go to the next higher mountain. That's the way the road is. And that's the way sometimes life can be. Some of us today find it hard to let go. Some of us in a place where, hey, I'm already having this, I can't lose that. I've gained this much altitude, I can't lose that. I want to go higher. But that's where you learn to trust God. That's where you say, you know what? This may not make sense, but I'm going to choose to trust you, God. doesn't make sense for me, but I've chosen that this is the route for me, and I go by what you are calling me to do. And when you follow that, it may be hard sometimes going down, but I'm here to tell you, you may go through that valley, but you're going to come out to a even higher mountain. God is not going to take you to the valley and say, come on, settle down here. That's not it. There may be seasons like that. There may be temporary passages in your life where you are going down. But that's the way the route has been made so that you can go to the next higher mountain. Would you be bold today to say, God, even though life doesn't make sense, even though it looks like a contradiction, people are laughing at me. People are saying, what's wrong with this boy? What's wrong with this girl? Why isn't things working out? Why are you going on a loss? Why is you made a mistake or something? All the different things people can say. But don't let that stop you. Be in a place where you're bold enough to say, even if the process involves me going down, I'm willing to do it. Because in that process, number one, I'm getting adapted to the next level. And secondly, that process is taking me to the next level. Amen. Lord, I pray that this word will be a great blessing to those who are watching, listening around the world. Let them experience that peace that comes from knowing that even though life may not make sense, God is still in control. Let them know that they are in the palm of your hands. Let them know that you have good plans for them. Even though they seem to be going down, let them know that this is just a catapult taking them to a higher mountain. Yes, this valley is not their permanent residence. They're going to step into new levels. They're going to see your goodness in new ways. They're going to see you trust them to levels they never expected. But help them to go through that process of acclimatization in their life, where it seems odd that their journey is going in the opposite direction of where they need to go. But let them have the courage and the boldness to trust you and say, God, you know what's best for me. And you're going to make it all beautiful to prepare me for that next level.
You've been listening to Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. We hope you were blessed and inspired to live the life that God has for you. Make sure to subscribe to the John Giftah YouTube channel for regular uploads of sermons, skits, interviews, and more. Follow John Giftah on Instagram for regular inspirational posts. And don't forget to check out the best-selling books written by John Giftah, Who Am I?, which will help you understand your identity, and the latest #1 bestseller, Unveil Your Purpose, helping you discover your purpose and to start walking in it. Make sure to leave a rating and review, and be sure to share it with your friends and loved ones. If you'd like to donate, you can find the PayPal link in the description. And if you'd like to invite John Giftah to speak at your event or to get more details, go to the website at www.johngiftah.com. See you on the next episode of The Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. God bless you.
If your heart stops beating now, do you know where you're going? If you came face to face with death now, do you know where you're going? And this is not a message of condemnation. This is a message of hope. There is a God who loves you so much. He sent His only Son, Jesus Christ, to come down and pay a heavy price by shedding every drop of His blood on the cross.
Thank you for dying for my sins.
When you believe in Him, you have free gift of salvation for you.
That assures us that we will go to heaven when we die instead of suffering in hell forever.
I just encourage you today to make the simple step of faith and say, Jesus, I thank you for what you did on the cross. Thank you for giving me this gift of eternal life.